God, it's Friday. Welcome to the last edition of this week on your favorite morning talk show, Nowstreaming on ACNNTV. It is the show where we discuss trending news and issues affecting us. I am Mojisola Olatsinwo, your anchor, and with me in the studio is Mr. Chinedum Anayo, a political analyst. You're welcome to the show this morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Good morning. Also with us this morning is Honorable Edmond Bartholomew, a political analyst. Welcome again to the show this morning.
Thank you.
It's good to have you back.
You're welcome.
Viewers, your thoughts and opinions are important to us, so do remember to call in with your views through our various social media handles and via our phone lines showing on your screens now. Let's dive right into some of the trending news for Friday, 8th April 2022. And our first headline this morning is right here in the Fct, where we have the Fcta demolishes 350 structures near the Abuja airport. That's our first headline this morning.
That is in order. Actually, they have been given warning, and based on extensions and the rest of it. So I felt it's proper for them to actually have wouldn't extend outside the boundaries given to them. So it's in order just to make keep Abuja clean and to make sure that properties owners develop their estates based on the prescriptions and the rest of it. Yeah.
But should that be the focus of the FCT present? Is that our major challenge in the FCT, Mr. Chinedum?
I think like this demolition is like it's an answer, and it's essential to prevent future events like this, because like past years we've seen where people don't go through the usual way to get all these allocations, land like estates, licenses and all. They just bypass the legal way to get licenses or allocations and whatever. So now they've demolished some structures. Like it's serving as a deterrent to those that are about to go into this kind of. There are many illegal structures in Abuja. There are. Even these demolitions, they haven't demolished all of them. There are still many illegal structures.
You know, the thing is, but does it really deter?
I think what we should be able to look here is that the demolition, did they go through the normal process?
Okay, that's another thing entirely.
Or was it through the back door? Because if demolition, who carried the demolition? They said it's FCTA that carried the demolition.
Yes.
Good. If they did, they must have had the reason of doing it. The issue, did they go through legal process, or there were their consultations? Actually, we know that before such demolition will occur, under the Minister of State on FCT, they are the ones saddled with the responsibility to negotiate between the indigenes and the occupiers of such lands. Yeah, and if that is not done, that means the due process has not been taken, because they are the ones by the act there to negotiate and see how they can be able to come to a point where they can, okay, so now we are coming and we're going to give you some compensation. So all those things are taken into play. Again, we know what developers do and how they use some key civil servants in development control and rest of it to perpetuate such
Illegal.
yes, illegal demolitions. I would call illegal demolitions. So we should be able to look into it. Again, this is where the ICPC, the EFCC have to look at it. If there's anything that has to talk about the corruption tendency there that never went through the normal process, the EFCC and the ICPC should investigate those in the development and the development control that took those steps to know whether it is being or based on influence of money or based on the influence of the developers. Must have now take Nigerians. Nobody is more superior than the other, as far as the constitution is concerned. And if
or nobody should be more
yes,
important.
no should be more important, and should no civil servants should be influenced by money bags in taking us our decision or based on the portfolio he or she is handling at a particular time. So we have to look at the merits and the merit of the process. If it's not, at least then we should be able to fix things right in this country, because we have discovered a lot of hanky-pankies when it comes to money bags in the issue of administering activities of the demolitions in FCT.
You know. Okay, so the reason I was even asking if that should be like the priority is this week, at least twice this week, I've heard serious complaints. Like, you know, you just overhear certain conversations and you're like, oh, that's true. On that airport road, the same, right from the airport all the way to the city gates, there are no bus stops. People are standing literally on the road under the sun, and the rains have started in Abuja. They're going to be standing in the rain.
For a long time.
There's nothing provided. And then there are very few pedestrian overhead bridges. So you find people crossing the express, and we're saying, okay, you're demolishing because it's illegal structures, but are you also doing something to benefit the people? Are you just, you know?
Yeah, if we have to now look at actually,
I think the same thing also happens
the
at
priority.
the Kubwa Expressway.
If we have to look at the priority of FCT, now we have to look at, is this supposed to be one of their priorities? Of course, it might be one among the priorities, but is it the most important? Because when you look at it, FCT is already messed with environmental issues, and like you are talking about, we have limited bus stops. Yes, but we can see that they are putting some up right now. Some little bus stop, I think they are erecting some bus stops there. But again, the pedestrian bridge and the number of people now residing in FCT now, because we discovered a lot of people have come into Abuja to reside because of insecurities. Now, when we look at the whole thing there is, you know, the civil society need to really look into all this. You know, sometimes we are being swayed about only looking at the political angle, what the politics of the being played at part time, without looking at the well-being of Nigerians. Absolutely. Because when people have been frustrated at this time where we have economic downturn, and telling really on Nigerians, it will really make them do most of those things we are trying to use our hard-earned resources to curb. You know, these are things we shouldn't allow. Thank God that we don't have the hike in suicide and the rest of it. But there are ways that you can be pushed to a particular situation, and those people you are trying to actually protect by the law, indirectly you are actually forcing them into getting demoralized and into getting more hardship and other crimes that will be attached to it. So these are measures. They need to, before you take any plan, it needs to coincide with what at every stage you need to actually implement such policies. So that is just the area we have to look at it.
Yeah, and I recall a few years ago, the past FCT minister, he made a statement. He said the master plan of Abuja is essential to the development of Abuja, and certain structures are going to violate this development.
Absolutely.
But the important question there is, can you have a master plan for a city without its people involved in the plan?
Okay, that's something else entirely.
Yes, you can't just plan, this is how I want Abuja to be, without considering the Abuja residents. How are they going to live? Where are they going to live? So those are important questions we should ask ourselves. It's not just the roads should be like this, the houses should be here, this house, I don't want houses here. There's no such, it doesn't work in every even in developed countries, there are slums.
Absolutely.
You consider every status of individuals, those that are economically buoyant and those that are at the downside of.
Okay, so moving on from there, we're talking, let's come back to politics. And we have the NYSC telling corps members to stay away from politics. The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, that's Major General Shaibu Ibrahim, has warned corps members to stay away from partisan politics in 2023. He advises them to be unbiased electoral umpires anytime they are called upon to serve as electoral officers. And this was said yesterday while debriefing the 2022 Batch A Stream 2 corps members in a nationwide virtual address. So.
Yeah, the call for corps members to not be involved in politics. I don't know what he meant. Corps members are civilians, as far as we are concerned. The majority of them are the youths. We have the age bracket of those that should be able to make choice and be able to consider and influence other youths that are not enlightened to be able to understand the nitty-gritty of them voting for the right candidates. And they are also the ones that have to inspire their parents to tell them that there are things unique about this person. One, you cannot say that the NYSC should not get themselves involved in politics. That is wrong. You can't do that. I don't know if they signed any treaty that they are now military officers. Of course, they are not. You understand? So they should.
Well, many times INEC actually uses.
Yes, no, that is a different thing here. Well, that is a different thing. INEC can use them, and that will be based on the rules of their engagement with INEC. Is a normal thing. Of course, INEC doesn't use all the corps members. No. So they use some limited personnel. So the issue here is for you to categorically said they should not get themselves in politics. Are you trying to say they cannot make influence decisions, or now we are yearning for good governance, when we are yearning for more credible people? Now we are yearning that people that have studied the trend in our political history and can be able to make judgments. You understand? And you are saying they should not get themselves involved. Maybe what he's trying to say is that they should not be partisan when they are in camp, or as they are saying, maybe they should not be partisan, or they should not go out and contest, or what. It can be that can be considered. Okay, don't contest.
Your problem with his statement is
so wide. It's so broad. it's so broad. You can't say they shouldn't get themselves involved in politics. No.
Your thoughts,
his statement is quite hypocritical, because like over time there have been this yearning for political participation amongst youths.
Yes.
In a country where there is a large apathy and the majority of citizens are youths, so that should indicate that the apathy is amongst youths too.
True.
And you're now coming to preach we should stay away from politics.
Not just youth corpers,
like
generally.
Youth corpers are also citizens of the country. They have the right to vote and be voted for. It's essential. Being a youth corper is not, you're not really into any particular government agency or organization. It's just a voluntary service to your country. It's not really government oriented or public oriented. It's just voluntary community service, something like that. So you can't force people or instruct them not to go into politics, because politics is very essential. Even this NYSC organization was political. The main aim, according to the founders, was to bolster unity. So there will be this kind of belonging amongst different sections of the country, and you're telling them to stay away from politics. How? Like, it makes no complete sense.
And to our viewers, please call in. Would love to hear your thoughts. Send your messages on social media. Would really love to hear what you're thinking this morning. Okay, so let's move a little bit away from there. And we have our next headline saying that the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Toho, has released new direction for the trial of terrorism cases in court, and it says he stops media coverage for terrorism cases. So cases of the leader of the IPOB, that's Nnamdi Kanu, Boko Haram suspects whose cases are presently in court, and under this new arrangement, media coverage of the proceedings is prohibited.
I think it's unconstitutional.
Well, this is according to Section 254. Okay, I'm not getting that. Of the Constitution. Yes. Oh, the amended Constitution.
Yeah, I think the issue is that we are getting to the point where Nigerians will soon be asked not to even use their phones and kind of to be able to get a first-hand information. You see, this type of trend these are the kind of trend we noticed 2019. And we are bamboozled into even not speaking, and for that we know where we got ourselves now. You see, we are not judges. We are Nigerians. We are concerned of what is happening. We are concerned about the current situations in the country. We are concerned that based on the number of repentant Boko Harams and the terrorists that are being released, rehabilitated with our taxpayers' money, that we have not seen the replica number when it comes to the justice system being maybe most of them going into maybe imprisonment or that. So we have no counts. They cannot come out and tell us that 1,000 Boko Haram members have been convicted, or as they prefer calling them, the bandits, have been convicted in the history of Nigeria or under this administration. And if we can get more than over 10,000 of them rehabilitated, and we saw the level of attacks that are being mounted against Nigerians, and what we see aftermath of the whole attack, and when we are all overwhelmed, when we are crying, when we are still feeling the inches and the pain and the trauma we are facing, and we will be surprised. I will come to the media to see that the headline will be captured: high-profile Boko Haram or bandits has repented and decide to lay his arms and thereabout. You know, these are what gets most of us confused. That's why when you come and policies are being written, don't get yourself into politics. That is a political statement from a military man. Don't get yourself into politics. This one, we are confused about that statement. The second one, a judge will come and said we should prohibiting media coverage of those. We are getting confused about that. The next one, we will hear about a high profile of bandits repenting from after he must have killed, maimed, and destroyed the countries. And we are surprised about that. We are confused about that. And tomorrow, maybe we might hear that most media houses should be closed. Of course, we will not be confused about it. We will only be surprised, and we are surprised that it comes too late. We don't want to be honest. The country and the key players of this administration don't want to actually give us the room for us to feel relaxed that yes, our government is really doing something about it, and they are actually defending even our born children. So These are the problems we are facing. When you look at it logically, sometimes you get yourself confused. Are we sure that these handlers of democracy understand that we know our rights from our left? We should be able to know what is happening. We have the right to know. We have the right to information. Nigerians have the right to information. So we shouldn't be presumed that when we go to source for information, that means we have breached the constitution. No.
I think this is a big issue because the media and journalism per se, I think that's the only job in the constitution. So constitutionally, media has the right to cover every happening in society. So you stopping the media causes a terrorism case. Probably they see it as a different kind of case. Like it's not the normal case where, but the constitution says, I think in section 35 of 1999 constitution, gives the right to fair hearing, public hearing.
Public hearing.
If it is fair, it's not secret. Because they are making it secret now. If you stop media coverage, then you're just giving people secret trials, secret charges, secret suits.
So nobody really knows
so we don't know how
going
it's going. We have no records of what the witnesses or the accused are. We don't even have any idea of what is going on there. So it's unconstitutional in a very wide aspect.
Okay, let's quickly move on to Kogi State. And we have the Kogi State government warning its citizens to stay away from beef consumption for a while following the mysterious death of no fewer than 20 cows in Lokoja. This warning became necessary as no one could emphatically state the cause of the death of the cows. But government sources say the animals might have been poisoned, and as a result, they're warning the public to stay away from consuming beef for now. That's happened in Kogi State, at least for the next 1 week. So
yeah,
those of us that like beef a lot.
Yeah, we know that the Kogi State governor has his way of lobbying and discussing with the herdsmen, and what he needs to do is to come up and set a committee, as he always do, to rub mind with the herdsmen and know how he can be able to curtail if it is poison, from where, which source, how did they get into the state, why must it be Kogi State, and one that has really extended hand of fellowship to them. Who poisoned? Through
That
winning
is the
media.
question.
Yeah, from which source were the
they
beef
said they just saw the whole herd,
yes.
and suddenly they started behaving funny. So
it needs to actually they need to investigate that.
Agriculture, the minister, or rather the permanent secretary of the State Ministry of Agriculture has appealed to the general public to please just cooperate. Director of Veterinary Services has also
and when you look at it, if truly that happens, that's another form of terrorism.
So terrorism against who?
Yes, against Nigerians, against the Kogais, because if you poison a meal or a meal, no matter the food, and you know people will go there to acquire it, and your intention is for you to eliminate them.
That's actually one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it, and I think that was what first came to mind when I saw that headline. I think it was just somebody trying to defend himself. Think about it. The Fulani man grazes his herd through a particular farm, and then his animals start dying.
It's like a repercussion.
It might not be targeting the Kogi State citizens. It might just be some individual deciding, look, enough is enough.
No.
Yeah, no matter what, is an act of terrorism.
So terrorism against whom?
Yes, against humanity. You see, when you are talking about terrorism, you don't look at, it's just like you throwing stone into the market. You understand? That act alone, one, need to be condemned. and need to be investigated. Is a national issue. That should be a national issue. Because if you said, what about when those people within those towns never decide not to take meat that day? When maybe they decide not to, maybe they have, and you now shifted that you poison your cow so that other people eat. So it's not justifiable. You understand? So like I said, the governor he needs to permutate over and find and get get to the root of it. And we're expecting him to do that less than 24 hours. Because, yes, we expect him to do that.
A lot.
No, we expect him. He wants to be the president of this country. So we want to know if he cannot do that within his state, within this period. Then if he becomes the president, maybe we will take an eternity for him to investigate it. Yeah. As somebody that wants to be the president of this country, and you had cases where people goes to markets, buy foods, and when they came back, they are dead. You need to investigate. If you can't do that, that means we don't know if you can be credible enough to spearhead as far as the country is concerned.
Well, I just think poisoned cows should be investigated because we all consume beef.
We all consume.
So it's
and,
like
and if any individual, if any individual decided to strike back at whichever Fulani herdsman was grazing his cattle around him by poisoning, I think that person is short-sighted.
Yes.
Like you said, it's like throwing a stone into the market and hoping it will not hit your mother.
Yes.
Has the NAFDAC said anything about that?
No.
Yes, they will. I think they have some thing to do with that. I think some agencies will just wait and say because they call them drug agencies and the rest of it. Anything you consume, actually, Nigerians consume, they should also look into it. All the agencies have to work in synergy to make sure that we don't allow such things to happen.
It's the Directorate of Veterinary that actually monitors the
livestock. The livestock, yes. But I'm saying that all agencies, their hands must be on deck so that they will work together for the survival of this country.
Because NAFDAC isn't just for drug. I think food is also part of their acronym or something.
So
Food and Drug
Agencies. Yes.
So let's talk money. We have the Lekki port will boost intra-African trade and create 170,000 jobs. And this is quoting, let me see if I can pronounce this name very well, Kai Pingzen. That's the chief financial officer of the Lekki port.
Yeah, deep sea port.
The deep sea port, yes. So he's saying 170,000 jobs will be created.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that's it.
Yeah, definitely. When you get into anything that can bring resources in the economy, and you now discover Nigerians are not lazy. We are waiting for opportunity. Yes, just like the administration has already sentenced the youth. But what we are trying to say is that when you create opportunity for us, we harness.
True.
You understand? So there are a lot of development it will go, and we wish the other zones can borrow suits for us to have such a. In fact, what does it take for Nigeria to be vibrant? Our economy to get back to is this. We are facing with the dollar hike and rest of it. So we need vibrancy in our economy. We need things to really turn around to motivate the economic circle to re-imbibe in the area of bringing prosperity to the country. So we are excited about that, and we want it to be actually to be fast and so that it can be commissioned for for commercial activities.
And we just hope like this good move by the government is realistic. It's not. They are used to all this kind of announcements, but we don't see.
Well, I mean, this is a partnership. This is a public-private.
We just hope it's transparent.
Transparent.
Yes.
On that note, we'll go on a short break. When we return, we continue with the headlines for today. Do stay tuned.
Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion invites you to an expository capacity building and destiny changing mission convention. Joshua Generation International Youth Conference. Theme: Manifestation of the Sons of God. Date: Monday 18th to Saturday 23rd April 2022 by 7 a.m. daily at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. Ministering: Archbishop Benjamin Kwasi, Brother Bile Akani, Archbishop Edmond Akanya, Bishop Dakbo Asaju, Bishop Foreman Nedison, Chief Mike Adenuga, Dr. Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo Iweala, Professor Pat Utomi, and other servants of God. Worship Minister Frank Edwards. Free feeding and accommodation for all participants who registers at www.jgiyc.com. Special guest of honor, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Honorable Sunday Dare. Be part of this unusual encounter to unveil the future leaders to spearhead the spiritual and social economic transformation in Africa. Chief host, His Grace, the Most Reverend Dr. Henry Ndukuba and Mrs. Angela Ndukuba. Announcer, Bishop Aloysius Agbo.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is now streaming on ACNN TV. Thank you for staying tuned. To our viewers out there, I hope you've registered for your Joshua Generation. It is free, attendance is free, but registration is imperative so that proper planning can be made. Registration has been extended till Sunday, midnight on Sunday, so please just click on the links, register, and expect a lot. It's starting on the 18th of this month, and it promises to be, I mean, the last edition was a powerful event, and it can only get better. So don't wait to be told. Register and be there to partake of it. So let's get back in with the headlines for this morning. And we'll take like the next 2-3 together and just discuss them. So we have the sacked Imo lawmaker tackling speaker and saying his seat is not vacant. That's from Imo State. We have defection. PDP is appealing or is planning to appeal the outcome of the suit against Governor Ayade. Then we have the same PDP extending sale of nomination forms. And we have Buhari charging the APC chairman, be firm, be fair to all party members. So let's just take that one after the other as it has come.
I laughed at your last
Okay, you want to start from there?
Yes, because we knew, I think it's a very good remark, but that remark can be hypocritical because we knew what happened at the APC convention. Where candidates were sharing tears, they were forced, they were bamboozled to step down. And when you bring the word being fair, it means you have to give everybody the room, the chance to contest, and the loser and the winner can also appreciate themselves for the fight well done. To be fair, I don't know, maybe for the presidential candidates, maybe that's where he's citing his being fair, so that the APC national chairman will not actually give room for only his preferred candidates. I think that is where it is. But again, like I said, the convention has already told the line where most of the stakeholders in the APC has already understood their fate, and you should be able to know that, well, am I sure I'm still in this party? Am I sure I'm still in this race? Because we know that at the end of the day, the current national executives will decide most of the fates of those contesting. So that is that. When you go to like the Imo State you're talking about, you know, these are power tussle where we have to, when in a seat where somebody is already occupying and someone is coming in to actually tussle that seat with him. I think we'll have to wait until the primaries has been done within the political parties. Then, if that is done, then the winner will emerge, and those that are seen different enchased will actually proceed to court to be able to get justice if they felt that they have been thrown away through the back door. You know, those are things that we need to learn. Like the PDP has said that they will actually open their nomination forms, and they will stay and make it open. You know, I don't know why I envy PDP so much on the way they handle the democratic process. You know, they have one kind of system. Maybe it's because of the party has an ideology, and it's not run based on the shadow of one man. It's actually run based on the party structures and what we know PDP as a democratic party. You know, when something happened last this week, and they came to an agreement that no, we don't need to zone our presidential seat to any zone. Let it open. Let's go to the field. Let's test popularity. Let's test our faith in the field. You know, that has actually given room, and that played even in their convention. And you saw that actually, if you must actually score between the two ruling major political parties, you should know you should give that to the PDP. I think they have been very sensitive to issues, knowing that Nigerians are not actually happy how they appeared and for the last 8 years. And if they can be able to learn that because Nigerians want a political party that can be sorry, and that can be able to assure us of giving us the best once they are in power come 2023. You see, these are 20, yeah. So these are the issues where we are looking at the issue. You know, the truth about it, Nigerians are now wise. And when we are wise, we are not looking at where you might come from. We are looking at what you can be able to offer. Yeah. And you know, that's why I condemn instructors, the calling of the youth corps members to tell them to accept themselves.
Yes, they're really upset at that
yes, because those are the people that can be able to really talk sense into other youths that are not privileged to be able to know what is happening. Where do they see light for them to know what is happening within this political scenario? We don't have light. In fact, we are even use most of these activities to disenfranchise Nigerians of information. And it's not everyone that can afford gen and they to power their houses now. So these are people that we should give them that most of them are always on internet. They should be able to know what is happening, and they should also preach the gospel of change of this set
real
of life.
Yes, no,
the issue is that, you know, from you see, I just like a comedy. I watched somebody said the change they promised us was from top to bottom. But if we look at such change, we know that nobody has actually we deceived ourselves. They were frank and realistic to us. So if we want to now talk about change, we know that we are at the bottom of it. Nah. So we need the change that can take us to the top. We need change that can be able to secure our life. We need change that can be able to take us back to our homes. You know, I'm so worried about this stage where, when you're talking about voting, going to collect your voter's card and do all those things, yes, you discover that mostly with this new electoral law, the Norths, I'm just sorry for them.
Yeah, they are disadvantaged.
Because at the point of where your polling units are, you can't go to another polling unit and vote. So, and most of those villages has been raided. Most of those villages have been taken over. So I don't know any way. Most of them, if you know, that's why of course they were very sensitive not to take census. That's why some other regions are saying let's go on census. And we discovered that the population definitely, but because people has run out of this country. A lot of people has gone to run out into Niger or Chad or Cameroon. So
people are
yes,
leaving.
I know what I'm
Alarming.
talking about.
Every
For
day.
the past 1 year, I have not gone to Kaduna State because I'm afraid of anything that can happen. So these are the issues where, when we look at the scenario, we discover that when we want to be realistic, we should be realistic. And such things that are also happening in the East, where ones cannot even, in the East now, it's getting so terrible.
Really?
That, yes, that even, you know, we don't really know if it's the unknown government, who they are working for, and the rest of it.
Yeah.
So these are, you know, when we are discussing security issues and politics, it has to go in hand.
in hand.
Yes, and what we always pray and wish is the desirable end of this situation we are facing in this country. So the line, I recommend the political players, but again, that the activities of the law enforcement should be actually limited to their security activities and not in political matters. That is.
Yeah, I think the message of stay away from politics should be sent more to these security agencies, not to NYSC. Yes, it should be sent to them. And Buhari's charge to the National Chairman of VPC is okay. It's a nice charge, but we hope that is what he actually does, because we keep hearing complaints that the president gave a directive, but his cabinet they didn't obey, things like that. Different kind of stories we keep hearing. And PDP's formula of train you ticket open is okay, because competence is what we are looking for.
Competence.
And there are competent people in every section of the country. So it should just be fair. That is making the whole process fair, opening it to everyone. But if you zone it to a particular section, what about the other regions of this country? So it should be open.
Still talking about Mr. President, he's now seeking a 4 trillion subsidy for 2022. He has written to the House of Representatives seeking an increase of fuel subsidy to 4 trillion naira from 442 billion naira. I'm sure there are people that cannot even comprehend these figures.
Yes, you know, it's a wrap-up. I look at it as a wrap-up of the administration. So we are, in fact, you know, in our history, it's only in this administration we start hearing trillions that has to be budgeted for our national budget and the rest of it. So, you know, when we are talking about these figures, they must have had the economic team together to be able to raise that.
The spike in
but
the market price.
Where would they get such funds?
Aggravated by the
Countries.
Russian
Where would they get
war.
such funds?
Yes,
That's the issue.
Lower production, oil production volume, you know, as a result of massive theft of crude oil. So those are some of the things. But your question is, where are they going to get it?
Where are they going to source those funds from? We know that it's difficult and based on the templates on ground for us to those funds to come up. And I think there's a place I read that they have gone to solicit for loans also. Our fear is we hope that by the time we leave, the current administration leaves office, we can. I think the handover notes will not just be occupied by signing off our country. When it comes to the number of chunks of loans and the interest that needs to be paid. We're just hoping, and I will not speak anything less than that, hoping that by the time this administration leaves office, Nigerians will be there for us to go ahead with, and will not have issues to do with legal tussle of reclaiming our country, and based on documents that have been signed for borrowing loans. I just hope so.
Borrowing.
But it's shameful that we keep borrowing to service the country. Other countries borrow to produce, manufacture, so they can earn money to run their country. But instead, we just borrow and we consume.
Overheads.
Yes. Keep consuming. We borrow to pay salaries, we borrow to earn subsidy, we borrow to do this, we borrow to do that. We don't ever borrow to do anything productive.
It's quite
shameful.
Well, except for the Lekki port.
Yeah, the Lekki port is the best
Lekki
thing
DC
so
port.
far. Yeah.
At least we're borrowing for a good cause for that.
Yeah,
Honorable.
it's a generating, is an income generation. This thing. If we can borrow for such activities, why not?
Yes,
Like when you are borrowing to go and pay subsidy to who? Who are you paying them? Why are you paying the subsidy to?
You know, you keep asking that question.
I'm saying, who are you paying it to? You know, and you know, let's like I said, let's not go further. Let's just be hopeful that.
Well, this hope is very big
This
because
hope is a hard hope.
people see these things and they lose faith in this
Let's
country.
just be hopeful.
They lose hope.
Yeah. So the people that have left,
People leave every day.
around me in recent times have been die hard. We stay here.
Yes.
We, you know, and I heard of one and I'm like, what happened? He's like, I've lost hope.
Yeah.
You know, but that is the one thing we cannot lose.
Yes, we have to really give every Nigerians that resilient faith of telling them there's still hope in this country. You see, no matter what has happened in any administration, Nigeria can never go down. Nigeria is a blessed country. It's just how we can be able to put one or two things together and find our feet. That's what we are missing. We don't have leaders that are focused, that can be able to harness what we have and make change. If not, Lekki, deep sea port, it would have been done for a long time if they were reasoning. If it's something that can be done, we have issues, things that can be able to use to generate funds. So it's about thinking. If they can think right, if they can think right and make their reason, so that is it.
Yeah, and there's the saying as well that the darkest hour comes before dawn.
Definitely.
So, I mean, some people are losing hope and they don't have the option of leaving not even to Cameroon.
Yes.
You know, so we should keep up hope. We should also watch what we say. I hear people saying a lot of really negative things about the country, and I'm saying that you cannot, as an individual, do something to change it. Doesn't mean you should also use your words to destroy it.
No, they might be expressing frustration. That doesn't mean they don't have
we
it.
all are frustrated, but
so,
you know what I'm saying is we should mind
the level of this out of us.
Essence of patriotism.
I have said that Nigeria is a blessed country.
Absolutely.
But we have not blessed yet with good leaders that can be able to turn our situation around.
They just keep directing
so that is just it.
Our energy to negativity.
Exactly.
Instead of this Lekki Deep Seaport is positive.
It's a positive thing, and we should celebrate. I was hearing about something this morning where it's a system where they both punish misbehavior, but they're careful to reward good behavior. And I think it's so where we things are not as good as we want them to be, when the good one is coming, we should acknowledge it and appreciate it. And talking about good ones, Kano State High Court presided over by Justice DJ Aboki has convicted and jailed 2 civil servants, Helen Ode and Zainab Musa, for conspiracy, impersonation and false statements. And one of them got 3.5 years. The other got 6 months imprisonment for forgery. So at least one, there are a few that get the consequences of their acts.
Yeah. I think this is a good one, coming from Kano State. is a good pointer, and if it's been justified, why not? They should go in for it.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
It's a good news. It's positive.
and hopefully it will serve as a deterrent to others that not everybody can get away with what.
Yes. And we hope this kind of thing will keep happening.
Yes, more of it.
Even
please.
amongst the elites, because they also forge too. We've had forgeries of certificates and all. Nobody has been brought to book. So,
Yes. Then we have police rescuing 12 kidnapped victims in Kogi State. And we have NDLEA securing a conviction of 213 illicit drug traffickers in Edo State. And we have soldiers intercepting millions of naira allegedly being transported to bandits. So those are some things to celebrate this morning, in the sense that, yes, it sounds like a very small number. There's 12 that have been rescued, and we have over 100 that are unaccounted for in Kaduna State. But those 12 families,
Yes.
it's a bold step
yes,
from the police.
those 12
and the government.
families have received the answer to their prayers.
Yes. It's a prayer that you not even pray for your enemies.
Oh, no.
And is a very good one. And we just imagining that this has turned out to be a very big business when it comes, because once it starts like this, it's always difficult to end. You know, we are just worried, and then how long will this end? And if the army can be able to trace those funds being transported to the bandits,
Yes,
it's a very good. That means they have their internal report, internal security reports, and that means they know they can be able to say, okay, this money is being given to them, is taken to the bandits, and they should be able to say, okay, this is where the bandits are. So what we are now saying that is it not better we eliminate those bandits, and probably where they are getting this, because they should be able to have first-hand information once they have captured.
I mean, because look at the way it's packaged. I mean, if there was no intelligence,
yes,
it just
Go
looks like
yes.
foodstuff or something.
Yes.
That's
So,
traveling.
and they should be able to. That's why some people are saying that our military are so intelligent. They are intelligent people, but we don't know why it's as if they are like. To us, we are seeing them as if they are handicapped in actually doing what we know them professionally. They are the best.
There are lots of challenges.
Because, when they have been awarded in the world as one of the best on land, and these people are on land, and it looks as if they are trying to fight these bandits for eternity.
Yes.
You know, it gives us room for questioning and say, is it that what we know our military for, what is really happening? So again, of course, I know one day we'll be over this, and I think there will be peace in this country, and peace will be restored permanently.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And then we have this other one from Zamfara State, also on security. The headline reads, I'll read it the way it is. It says, Zamfara full of blood and royal Cadillac. And we have the governor of Zamfara State purchasing a Cadillac, purchasing Cadillac 2019 series for 260 emirs and other traditional chiefs in his very poor state that is under daily bombardment of terrorists, with deaths of hundreds of poor citizens murdered, maimed, and displaced. The cost of that vehicle, they say that is not a vehicle, that's a, what do they call it? It's a car. Goes for about $95,000 each. That's about 40 million.
You see, the problem is that I don't know. You see, and you see some youths, northern youths, clapping
Yes,
hands.
the faithful ones.
Now we have a
Clapping hands.
United Nations report that considers. So according to United Nations standards, person living in extreme poverty is living on less than $1.90 per day.
Per day.
And we know Zamfara has been in the news for a very long time.
Now, can those real fathers, can they drive those cars around Zamfara?
No, they have driver. He was creating employment.
No. I'm saying, can they drive it around Zamfara state?
Probably in some areas,
Okay, they are all returned down to Abuja.
Good.
You see, the issue here is misplaced priorities, and these are, I think, the I don't know.
I think it's more like blatant insensitivity.
Yeah, height of insensitivity. Yes.
I just can't place
you
it.
can't read the mood of the country at this moment.
Do you get?
Like,
and
we're
then
in a
your
particular
state
mood.
is even one of the most distressed states. Honorable is fed up.
Because, like, from what United Nations stated,
$1.90.
there was I was in a lecture where they taught me that the right to life doesn't just stop there. Like, it's United Nations defined the right to life as adequate housing, feeding, clothing. Like, there are other things attached to it, because if I can't eat, I can't live properly. I'm not living.
If you don't have a roof over your head,
I'm not living. I'm as good as dead. And there are many like that in Nigeria, and we claim to guarantee the right to life. So, and now somebody is buying a group of cars. I'll call them machines because they are not the average type of cars.
260, each one at 40 million. And you're asking where we'll get money for subsidy. They should go ask him. He has money.
No, we know that
the money might even be
illegal
borrowed
mining in Zamfara State, and that is what has really turned the bandits down to Zamfara State. Lots of them are illegal mining of goods and the rest of it. And when you see those kind of things coming up, you can be able to say, okay, where is it from the government itself is looking for borrowing money to be able to do some certain thing. And once the governors, when they have the mandates that took them to the office, they have left those mandates that brought them to office into another part. That is where you start having issues, problem about it. You see, this Zamfara State governor, we have had issues. The PDP have said, this man, some of them have said you are living on stolen mandates of a political party. These are the issues where we have problem, where when they don't have ideology and they are being brought there based on sympathy, and misplaced priorities, you can always see it on almost a daily. What we are saying, and no matter what they are arrogant. They can't change their way of doing things, and that is what is bringing them this downfall. If the people they are representing can stand up and say, no, you can't do this, I don't think it will continue. But they can't speak. They have been caged. They have been into them not speaking, or they will face the consequences within those states. And that is not democracy. We're not practicing democracy. It is in a democracy where you have the right to speak and speak against your actions. It will influence you in making positive change. But where you can go and spend money, people are dying almost. People are deserted. People are saying IDPs. And you have not, have we gotten report that you have met them, you have approached them, you have given them shelter? No, these are the issues.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here this morning. Thank you for taking time out to come and have these conversations. And to our viewers, thank you for allowing us a little bit of your morning today. We've said it several times today. We've said it prior to today. It is pre-election year. Your card, your voter's card, is your right. If you do not have it, please go get it. I think from April 11th, another round of the continuous voter registration is going to be on. Get your voter's card. It is your right. And it is your civic responsibility to own or to have it. Your vote counts.
Yes.
Get involved, get informed on how the electoral process works. The decision process is our collective responsibility. And now more than ever, we need to speak up against wrong. If you see something, say something to the appropriate authorities. And most importantly, do not forget that God is our ultimate protector, and we should put all our trust in Him alone. And as we continue in this Lenten season, let the love of God dwell richly in us. Have a wonderful weekend. I am Mojisola Olatinwo.